Hi everyone, my name is Carl Walker. I am the son of Lloyd Walker, who is the son of Judd Walker. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, you look pretty young to be the grandson of Judd Walker, you are correct. But that's because I am the youngest of Lloyd Walker's children, and Lloyd was the youngest of Judd Walker's children. And I know it's not super common these days, but back then, Maxine was born in 1916. My dad was born in 1937. So you can see there's a huge gap. And that's why I look so crazy young. And that's why most of my first cousins are old enough to be my parents, which was pretty cool growing up for all you cousins out there. Anyways, let me tell you a little story. I am gonna do a video documentary for you about the Walker family. Most of you know how this started, some of you don't. 25 years ago, when Garland was marrying Linda, we were all in Texas. My dad came down for the wedding. We were there for the wedding because we were stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. My wife, Audrey, was pregnant with our first daughter, Jordan. And at the end of the wedding, we told my dad, you're gonna have a baby, grandbaby. He was super excited, we were super excited. Little did I know that would be the last time I would see my dad. He passed away very shortly thereafter. So when that happened, I realized, like, man, there's a lot of history here that needs to be captured and told. So, as many of you know, I went around Texas and I interviewed the aunts and uncles on camera, and I compiled about 15 to 20 hours worth of footage to put into a documentary. But then I had a baby, and then I had another baby, and then I had another baby, and then we moved and got out of the Army and went to Colorado, and I started a nonprofit organization for pastors and missionaries called Engedi Retreat, which you can go check out when you're bored. And before you know it, 25 years had passed, and I haven't completed the documentary. But now my kids are gone, and I have not a lot of time on my hands, but I have rededicated some efforts to making this documentary again and getting out to you. So I am super excited to let you know a little bit about how this process is going to work. First of all, this process is going to take some time. My original plan was to create the whole documentary and give it to you all in one big shot, which is like probably going to be somewhere between 2 to 3.5 hours long. I'm not really sure yet. But then I thought, man, that's a long documentary, and maybe I could just release it to you in parts. So I tried this in 2016, got some of it done, but again, got busy. And so now I have some time enough to do this. So I'm gonna release this to you in parts on YouTube, on this YouTube channel. And I'll try and keep it to 15 to 20 minutes per section. And then at the end, when I'm all done, maybe we can put it all together in one big video that plays seamlessly. That'd be fine. But in the meantime, you guys will get to see this. I want you to interact with me on YouTube or email or text or whatever, and let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. To give you a couple of things to note as you watch the videos, before I started this, I just used still pictures, which is fine. But now we have this cool thing called AI. And I can use AI to turn still pictures into video, which is really cool. And I'm going to show you an example here of my mom. This is a picture of my mom at prom in her dress, which is super cool. But I can use AI and I can turn it into this, which is a picture of my mom moving, a video of my mom moving. Now, we don't know exactly what my mom looked like when she was moving, but nobody does. So this produced by AI is maybe the closest thing that anyone will ever know of what she looked like moving in that dress, which is pretty cool. So I've done that with some of the still pictures in these videos. Not all of them, but some of them. So if you see some movement, that's not a real video, that's AI producing that video. Another note is this. There is a lot of variation, some variation between the stories that each aunt or uncle tells. It doesn't mean they're lying. It's just that, you know, when I interviewed them, I was asking them stories that happened 60 and 70 years ago. And so and there was a big gap in between them all. So they did their best to, get the stories right. But, maybe they can get it perfectly right. In the case of Carl, he's very difficult to understand. I'm going to try and get subtitles for that, so hopefully that'll work. In the case of Maxine and Garland, their speech was a little slow, so I did increase the speed of some of those videos just a little bit, by just like 5%. Hopefully you won't be able to tell the difference, but it does help keep it from being too long or drawn out. So that's an important note. Let's see, what other notes do I have for you here that we could talk about? That's pretty much it. So I have a couple that I'm going to release to you very soon, and they'll be on this YouTube channel. Feel free to share this YouTube channel with any of the walkers, any of your friends, anybody who wants to see it. There's nothing sensitive in any of these. At the very end, I will have not incorporated every single video I took into this documentary. So at the very end, I will put together a short video of just clips of all of the pieces that didn't match as part of the documentary. And my goal is to take this all the way up to right around when George was in World War II. I got some good stories of him in World War II, and I think that's important to tell. After that, we didn't talk too much about the stories in there. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. I'm having a blast making it. I've changed the narrative. If you watch the first ones in 2016, I've changed the narrative to be a lot more interactive, a lot more funny, I hope. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this. So thanks so much for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing your comments. Bye-bye.